Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. The Biden administration announces new gun control measures. Congressman McEachin delivers 2 checks to the city of Petersburg. Prince George selects a new county administrator. Colonial Heights Council discusses tax relief for citizens. And 25-year-old pro golfer Scottie Scheffler wins the 2022 Masters. These stories and more in a moment.
A typical day for me is making sure that the residents have their meds on time and also making sure that they have a good day. My name is Felicia Woodley, and I'm a CNA med tech at Dunlop House. No matter what the situation is, we always put the residents here at Dunlop House first. My work is meaningful because they'll come to me and tell me, thanks for that smile that you have on your face. I connect with them because I look at them as one of my family members. Dunlop House, more than a house, it's home.
This is my second time going to Escape Old Town. Had a great time in the escape room. Lots of fun. Puzzles a little challenging, but I mean, it makes you really work for it. You know, you feel a lot more accomplished when it's done.
Welcome back to the studio. Let's take a look at news across the nation. Late in the evening of Sunday, April 10th, Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal announced via his Twitter account that Elon Musk had declined the offer of a company board seat. Musk's decision comes after the Tesla and SpaceX founder purchased 9.2% of Twitter's stock, making him the largest single shareholder in the tech giant. On Tuesday, April 5th, the company announced that Musk had been offered a seat on the board and would be joining pending a background check and his formal acceptance of the offer. Musk's turning down the offer has led many to speculate that he has further plans to purchase more of Twitter's stock. According to a report by the Daily Wire, his joining the company's board would have required the billionaire to sign an agreement limiting him to owning a maximum of 14.9% of the company, a condition that has been interpreted as an attempt by Twitter to limit his influence on the company. Musk was silent about turning down the seat until Thursday morning, April 14th, when he mysteriously tweeted, quote, "I made an offer," with a link to the SEC's website. The link revealed an SEC filing outlining Musk's offer to purchase 100% of Twitter in cash at a cost of $54.20 per share. According to a report from the Daily Wire, Twitter's current value sits at $37 billion, and Musk's cash offer is for $43 billion. Musk penned a letter to Twitter board chairman Brett Taylor explaining his offer and the motivation behind it, stating, "I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy," and emphasizing his belief that Twitter could be the platform for free speech. Musk continued in the letter, quote, "However, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve the societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company." End quote. On Monday, April 11th, the Biden administration announced that it would be implementing new measures in an attempt to tighten gun control laws. The target of these measures would be, quote, "ghost guns," firearms without serial numbers often partially assembled by the owner. The new rule from the U.S. Department of Justice bans the manufacturer of gun build kits, what the administration called, quote, "buy, build, shoot" kits. According to the announcement, such build kits will now be considered firearms and require serial numbers, a federal license in order to sell them, and a background check in order to purchase them. In addition to these new standards for build kits, the rule also requires firearm dealers to assign a serial number to any unserialized firearm they add to their inventory. In addition to these crackdown efforts, President Biden announced his new nominee for director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Steve Dettelbach. Dettelbach is a former U.S. attorney and DOJ prosecutor who has worked with the ATF in past cases. Dettelbach's nomination comes after Biden's initial nominee for the position, David Chipman, was rejected by Republicans and some Democrats in Congress. 2 European countries, Finland and Sweden, are likely to join NATO this summer, according to a report from the Daily Wire. The North American Treaty Organization currently consists of 30 member countries. The 2 Scandinavian countries are expected to apply for membership in June. The news brought immediate response from Russia, with Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova stating that the move on the part of Finland and Sweden, quote, would have serious military political repercussions that would demand a response from our country, end quote. In late March, the Daily Mail reported that Russia had flown 2 nuclear-armed planes into Sweden's airspace, a clear warning to the non-aligned country. Republican Governor Greg Abbott announced on Wednesday, April 12th, that he and Samuel Garcia, governor of the Mexican state of Nuevo León, have agreed to take steps to secure the border between Nuevo León and Texas. Abbott cited the lack of border security provided by the Biden administration as the reason he sought out a solution directly with Mexico. The announcement also revealed that other Mexican states had reached out to Texas officials to initiate similar negotiations. This new agreement follows President Biden's decision to end Title 42 and Governor Abbott's announcement that Texas would begin chartering buses to take newly arrived illegal immigrants from the Lone Star State directly to Washington, D.C. We'll be back with your local news.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Keep your home comfortable and quiet with the new energy-efficient Daikin Fit system. Right now at Colonial Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we're offering a $1,000 rebate on any new Daikin Fit HVAC system. Colonial Plumbing, Heating, and Air, service that's revolutionary.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, hemp-based products, vapor nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Welcome back. Let's turn now to local news. Petersburg police have arrested 19-year-old Dwight Delano Scott of Petersburg, charging him with first-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, in conjunction with the death of 20-year-old Taekwon Ridges. The shooting occurred on April 12th at approximately 6:33 p.m. Police were called to the scene of the 1500 block of East Washington Street for reports of shots fired. During that investigation, 2 other shootings occurred, one at the 500 block of High Pearl Street, followed by a third shooting victim found on Locust Court within the Pine Oaks subdivision. Police are reporting that all 3 incidents are related. The Petersburg police confirmed that Scott was injured in the incident and taken to the hospital. For now, Scott is being held pending appearance in court. The Colonial Heights City Council discussed a measure in the Tuesday, April 12th regular meeting that would provide tax relief to the citizens of the city. Council members spent over an hour discussing a reduction in the personal property tax rate for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. City Manager Doug Smith explained the proposed ordinance discussion.
So at one of the City Council's previous meetings, they discussed a reduction to the city's personal property tax rate, which includes vehicles as part of that. Currently, it's been at $3.50 per $100 of value, and the City Council discussed and at that time decided decided that they wanted to reduce that from $3.50 to $3 per $100. That requires an ordinance, so we had to advertise for a public hearing for that ordinance. So at tonight's meeting, we went through further discussion regarding that, bringing back some cost-related information for City Council to have that in factoring into their decision. We now have the opportunity to have different rates for certain classes of personal property based on recent legislation through the General Assembly that the governor signed. Where we stand now is bringing this back for additional discussion by City Council at the April 26th meeting, and then that would come back for a later public hearing. Part of what staff will be working on is, we'll put together some of the things we talked about or refinements to that to bring back to council and the types of information they were looking for to bring back and give them what they need to help them make a good decision. There are a lot of elements involved in terms of the different classifications of property, and then new in the options this year that we didn't have before is the opportunity for ability to charge different rates to some of those different classes that we didn't, or to different classes, and we didn't have that opportunity before.
Examples presented at Tuesday's meeting showed possible tax savings could top over $100 per resident, depending on the particular personal property affected by the ordinance. The council is set to continue discussion of the proposed change at the April 26th meeting, with a public hearing to follow at a later date. In a Tuesday, April 12th ceremony at the Petersburg Public Library, Congressman Donald McEachin presented 2 checks to Petersburg city officials.
Petersburg has really been an inspiration to me as we tried our best to represent her in the halls of Congress. And the way the citizens here and the governmental officials here really want to just lift Petersburg up by her proverbial bootstraps. And so it's incumbent upon us to help. We can't help but help as hard as you all are working.
The first check for $2,432,000 was for the city of Petersburg to support water infrastructure upgrades in the Poor Creek sewer service area. The upgrades to Poor Creek will increase capacity, allowing for future development, including growth of the existing pharmaceutical manufacturing cluster. The second check was presented to Petersburg City Public Schools to fund the replacement of the current diesel school buses with electric buses. The funding through the American Rescue Plan's electric school bus rebate program totaled $900,000. Petersburg School Superintendent Dr. Maria Petrie Martin, who accepted the check on behalf of the school system alongside members of the school board and city officials, stated, quote, "These types of investments in our school division certainly support our mission of continuous improvement," end quote. On Tuesday, April 12th, the Prince George County Board of Supervisors voted to approve Board Chair Marlene Waymack to enter into a contract with a new county administrator. After a search that brought in 63 applicants from 21 states, the District of Columbia, and even Canada, the 5-member board selected 4 applicants to interview that Waymack described as, quote, "a diverse group." At the Tuesday board meeting, Waymack announced that the board had ultimately selected former Deputy County Administrator Jeff Stoke to take the helm in Prince George. Stoke has been acting as interim county administrator since Percy Ashcraft vacated the position in December of 2021. District 1 Supervisor Floyd Brown Jr. made the initial motion to approve, with District 2 Supervisor Donald Hunter seconding the motion. All 5 members of the board voted unanimously to execute the contract with Stoke, who officially began his term as county administrator on Wednesday, April 13th. On Saturday, April 9th, the Tri-City Chili Peppers launched their new program, Blaze's Kids Club. Parents can sign their children up to be members of the Kids Club and receive 6 general admission tickets along with Chili Pepper swag like t-shirts, hats, lanyards, and a birthday goodie bag. The team will be hosting Kids Club parties throughout the year, and Kids Club members will get access to the Kids Zone at the games. Chili Peppers Vice President Colin McGuinn spoke to LNN at the Kids Club launch party at the Colonial Heights Chick-fil-A on Saturday, April 9th.
We're going into our second year. It's $25 to join. The kids will receive a t-shirt, they'll get a hat, they'll get a lanyard, they'll get a badge with their name on it. We're gonna have Kids Club parties all year long, from 6 games at the ballpark, to bowling, to zoo trips, to Williamsburg, to Jamestown, to miniature golf, and more. It's gonna be all year long. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of parties, including parties here at Chick-fil-A. We'll look forward to seeing everyone at the ballpark at 901 Meridian Avenue in Colonial Heights at Shepherd Stadium.
The cost to join the Kids Club is $25 per child, and kids aged 2 to 14 are eligible. For more information, visit chilipeppersbaseball.com/kidsclub. We'll be back with sports in a moment.
Downtown Thunder is back, the largest bike and cruising event in the region. The hottest bands, the coolest cars, and of course, the baddest bikes around. The most exciting 5 months of the year, May through September. Don't miss out. This year's lineup features The Code, Buckshot, Crunch, Lost in the Shuffle, and 11 to 1. So catch a ride and join us for Thunder.
It's time to catch a culinary wave. Fresh food, good vibes, and great service. From their homemade pickles, spreads, and hearty fresh-made sandwiches, to their full bar featuring unique tropical cocktails. Wave Sandwich Company delivers a tsunami of flavors that will wash over your taste buds.
Welcome back for sports. We go to Chai Gallahan with the latest on the Petersburg Cavaliers. Chai?
The Petersburg Cavaliers remain unbeaten through 9 games. For the second week in a row, the Cavs faced a dynamic duo. This time it was the Rowan County Bulls, Donald Rutherford and Avery Patterson, who dropped 38 and 36 respectively. But those 2 hot hands and a team 114 points were still not enough to topple the Cavs. The Bulls executed a solid defensive play, keeping the Cavs relatively quiet in the paint as the game started. But when Tavon Neely entered the game with 5:22 left in the first quarter, the Petersburg inside bruiser started softening to the defense. That, coupled with Elijah Moore's 38 points on the night, launched the Cavs into their 9th win of the season. Both Moore and Mealy locked down a double-double, while 3 more Cavs joined them with double-digit scoring on the night. Kevin Barnes with 20, Donovan Willis with 14, and Tayshaun Taylor with 10. The Cavs pushed out to a 20-point lead in the 4th before finishing the game 129-114. The Cavs remain undefeated and atop the ECBL's Mid-Southern Conference. The only other remaining unbeaten team in the league is the Southern Conference's primetime players, a team the Cavs will not face in the regular season.
Chai, what are the chances of those two meeting on the court this year?
Great question. While both teams lead their respective conferences, the ECBL remains a competitive and talent-laced conference. Fans are hoping that the two undefeated Goliaths meet in the championship, a plausible scenario. However, the Cavs still have 5 more regular season games and the playoffs to contend with, while the primetime players face 7 more regular season opponents in the playoffs as well. Both teams have faced challenges this season, so a battle of the unbeatens in the championship will prove to be as daunting as reaching the final game itself. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Thanks, Chai. Major League Baseball's Los Angeles Angels are being sued by the family of Bryson Galaz, according to a report by the Los Angeles Times. Galaz was 6 years old when he was struck in the head by a warm-up pitch thrown by Angels pitcher Keenan Middleton. The child recovered, but his family asserts that he has had difficulty in school since the injury. Middleton was warming up prior to the start of the game, leading Galaz's family to pursue a lawsuit based on the fact that the game had not begun when the incident occurred. The so-called baseball rule usually protects teams and players from such suits. The informal rule assumes that spectators accept the risk of injury by their attendance of the game. But the Galaz's lawyer disputes the baseball rule because the game had not officially started. The family filed the suit in Orange County on Friday, April 1st, according to the report. The incident originally occurred at a 2019 game. If the suit is successful, it could have significant implications for baseball and other sporting events, potentially providing precedent for other lawsuits based on spectator injuries, and clouding the issue of personal responsibility for the decision to attend sporting events that inherently carry the risk of injury.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elba.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elba.
We're chiropractors, and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us, Chester Family Chiropractic.
BSV keeps it 100. 100% committed to you. You have questions, we have answers. Just give us a call. BSV. We're 100% for you, 100% of the time. Call or visit bsvnet.com today.
At just 25 years old, professional golfer Scottie Scheffler won the 2022 Masters in Augusta, Georgia on Sunday, April 10th. He takes home a signature green jacket from Augusta National Golf Club, along with winnings totaling $2.7 million. Scheffler finished the game 10 under par. The New Jersey native only turned pro in 2018, but has already proven to be a golfer to keep an eye on, with 4 PGA Tour victories under his belt so far. This year's Masters also witnessed the return of Tiger Woods to the green. Woods has won the Masters 5 times in the past, but this year's event was his first professional game since he was severely injured in a car accident in February of 2021. Because of that leg injury, Woods was not favored to win this year. The 46-year-old finished 13 over par. Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was killed in an accident involving a dump truck on Saturday, April 9th. According to ESPN, Haskins was walking on Interstate 595 in South Florida when the dump truck struck him as he tried to cross the interstate. The incident is being investigated as a traffic homicide. Haskins, who was only 24 years old, began as a high school football star in Maryland before playing at the college level at Ohio State. He spent 2 seasons with the Washington Commanders before moving on to Pittsburgh in 2021. He was in Florida to train for the 2022 season with other Steelers teammates.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. Ice cream, candy, foot-long hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
It looks like we have a great week ahead of us. Wonderful hiking weather. The weekend starts off sunny and warm with a high of 73, and then it transitions to a partly sunny with a slight chance of rain on Saturday, and finishes off partly cloudy with a high of 63, lows all weekend mid to high 40s. Then the week starts off with a high of 61 and a 30% chance of rain. The rest of the week continues with highs in the upper 60s and lows in the 40s and a 30 to 40% chance of rain. So while it's good hiking weather, be sure to bring a light jacket and maybe a hat just in case.
That's it for this week's newscast, but we will see you next Thursday for the latest local news. Be sure to find and follow LNN on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for watching LNN News by the People, for the People.